Hi, and thanks for joining me. I appreciate your time. My name is Bob Middleton, and I'm here to share with you a training on our business system, how to approach, present, and close people in a duplicative way that can build you absolutely massive momentum. The system is the solution. As a matter of fact, systems sell, and you can sell the system because people want to know what to do. And they want to know what to do in a way that when someone comes to them and says, what do I do next? What do I do? I'm in. I'm ready to go. Your ideal answer should be, you do to those people on your list what I did to you. And with a duplicative system, you have magic because you can build an organization of people that have a standardized track to run on. Now let's talk about recruiting because obviously in network marketing, the products are critical, and Momentous has fabulous products, but it's a laydown to buy the products. You're already purchasing most of them anyway. You just get paid commissions on essential home services that you're already purchasing. Amazing. But recruiting takes some skills, and recruiting requires a system. And if you understand that recruiting is a series of events that spoon-feed information to a new person in a format where they can understand it without having the person showing it to them becoming the salesman, using third-party tools to do the selling and explaining, then it's just a matter of knowing what events to do in what order. Now, an event is the transfer of new information, whether an event's an email, receiving some information by email, or me meeting with you at a coffee shop in a live event. It doesn't make any difference. An event is the transfer of new information. And all events have an outcome. All events are designed for an outcome, yet when an outcome is accomplished, it's no longer motivating. So you have to have a series of outcomes that you understand ahead of time. When event A is accomplished, event B is now what you're trying to accomplish. And you understand all of those outcomes. You cannot and don't base your expectations on other people's potential. It's not about how great someone could be, should be, might be. It's about your commitment. Your expectations, your commitment should be based on what the discipline that you have to follow this system and to put as many people as quickly as possible with a sense of relaxed intensity. That should be your attitude. Not panic, not desperation, but a relaxed intensity to get people through the system as soon as possible. The final outcome of the system is to give a person enough information in order to make a decision. It's exclusively comprised of income-generating activities, IGA. That's all this system is. It's the least amount to do with a person in the shortest period of time, which will maximize their income earning potential and your income earning potential. And there's 3 rules of event promotion. We'll go over those rules. But recruiting is a series of events. Now, this system answers questions before they're asked. This system is 100% income generating activities. If you work this system as a team, if you find a workout partner, if you find people that do 3-way calls with you, and you're building it as a team building, you're going to create team-level income, which is massive. You want to work this like someone is watching you. You know the definition of commitment? Doing the things you said you would do long after the mood you said them in has left you. This is a long-term business. This is not something that's get rich quick. It is get rich quicker when you can build momentum, and a system will build you momentum with the least amount of people in the shortest period of time with the greatest amount of income. And you have to be passionate, and that passion has to equal your goals. This is about you staying in the business long enough so you can attend a national convention, so you can watch Andy, the CEO, speak, so you can see what kind of visionary leadership, so you can understand he's got hundreds of millions of dollars that he's going to open up 50 international markets in the next 60 months. The best is in front of us, and you can be CEO of you and own your own business. The perfect system builds you a self-generating, self-trained, self-duplicating organization that will also, as a result, create exponentially increasing amounts of money for you. Now that may sound like hype and something you've heard before. I've personally experienced it twice in my 26-year career in this industry, and I'm looking forward to momentous being the third time. It's rare when a company goes into momentum. Sometimes it's because of a product, sometimes because of leadership, sometimes because they're the first in the industry with what they have. And this company has all of those going for it. So it's a great system. I'm looking forward to you working this system and hearing your results. Now, the system is very simple to understand. It's very simple to work, but it's not easy. The emotional roller coaster of network marketing that people go through as they learn the business, that's the hard part. Success is an inside job. It's not the force of the gale, it's the set of your sail that counts. Your determination, your ability to control your destiny, your awareness of that, your commitment not to quit, your commitment to show up and be who you can be. That's the hardest part of this business, is to stay committed and stay involved. It's so easy not to do the business. It's so easy to do the business. And when you do it, you need to allocate specific time to do it. That's the secret of part-timers, and this business is built for part-timers. People that don't want to give up their current income but want to build an alternative source of income alongside their current income. You know, we all work at a job, which we H-A-T-E, and our boss yells at us, and that's probably the most recognition we ever get. Boss is double S-O-B. It's a prison, but it's all we have, and this is a way out. And this system is your guide. It's your field guide to success. Only work the system. Don't try and go around and find out what everyone else is doing and copy it. Pretty soon you'll be doing 50 pieces of 50 different systems and nothing will work. I can tell you the system has been tested. It's been field tested. There are people who have never done network marketing that are having results with it and going crazy with it. If you'll work the system, it will work for you. I'll make you that guarantee. Manage your distractions. All excuses are equal, and some are very legitimate. You know, we have issues in life. We have problems in life. I think the definition and the distinction between an issue and a problem is that you can afford to solve an issue. You can't afford to solve a problem. Some things just happen. But it sure puts you in a much better negotiating position to have lots of cash flow. So manage those distractions and realize that you are sacrificing now to build an organization, to get it big enough so the duplicative nature will kick in. And I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball, but I know if you expect it to happen, it will happen. It's all about income-generating activities and letting third-party tools do the selling and explaining. We do not go out and approach people and tell them the name of the company. We don't say we're in the deregulation industry. We don't go out and say, if I can save you money on your electric bill, would you be interested? Our system precludes and prevents you from having to do that. You do not have to be a salesperson. You need to run people through the system. Let the system do the sifting and sorting. Your focus is on the discipline that you have to run people through that system with the greatest degree of integrity and responsibility. And let those tools do the sifting and sorting. Let the process do it for you. Now, you need to have some skills. Skills are important. You need to be a conversationalist. Enjoying people is a real plus. Everybody's different. Everyone has something to offer. You have to reach into your heart and open the empathy button and listen to people. The quality of the questions you ask results in the quality of the answer you're going to get. You need to learn how to listen and hear at the same time. Sometimes people are so desperate, a person will say, I heard every word you said, but I didn't understand any of it. What you are speaks so loudly, I can't hear a word you say. But when you ask people questions and you hear their answer, you need to really listen to what they're saying. Because in this business, it's all about your benefits, your picnic table of momentous benefits matching the needs of the person you're talking to. And the only way to find out their needs is to ask them questions and remember what they're saying. Listen and remember, when you hear them talk, listen to what they're saying. and pay attention. Stay in the present and stay focused so that you can pick up the benefits that you know about Momentous and match them to their needs, because the definition of selling someone is need fulfillment. You don't need to close them if they want their needs fulfilled. You need to know how to set up a three-way call, how to do a three-way call, how to introduce properly, how to immunize people, and make sure that when people start hearing about the business, especially after they've just heard that 4-minute telephone call, that you are letting them know not to go out and do what their instincts are telling them and go talk to their best friend about the business to see if you can pre-recruit him or pre-sell him, or just to see what his opinion is. Those people don't know anything about the business, and they're going to give you some they may even say, I'd like to sign up, but you don't have a website yet. You're not trained. You don't know how to sign someone up. Even good news turns into an obstacle at that point. If you want to immunize people and tell them to write their names down, don't go out and start talking to people. Don't sabotage your own business. Don't work your own marketing system. We have a proven duplicative system we'd like you to do. Okay? You have to know what the events are in the order that they come in so you know what your next event is. And 3 rules of event promotion. Only promote one event at a time. If you tell people there's a weekly meeting every week in a city, they're going to come in about 10 weeks, if ever they come. If you tell them there's only one meeting a week and it's this night and it's this time, they're more likely to show up. Always promote the next event at the last event. Never let an event go away without you reaching out to that new prospect and saying, hey, let's talk at this time. Let's meet at this time. I'm going to touch base and reach out to you at this time. And every 24 hours, they're in the process. Once you've talked to them about the business, you've started this system with them, you have to give them new information every 24 hours. Information is an event, the transfer of new information. So every 24 hours, you have to give them a new event. And you have to immunize them at the right time. Very important. Basic stuff, good stuff, simple, follow it, it'll work for you. Now, 3-way calls, those are interesting. You always want to let the expert that you're having your prospect speak to know what time you anticipate the call. Give me a text if it's for me. Just text me on the phone. I'm a guy, but I can multitask. I can talk on the phone and text you back and tell you when I'm available. So I'm standing by and you have confidence that that person is ready. Never invite people to do a 3-way. Don't say, hey, I'd like to put you on a 3-way call with Bob Middleton. Just say, wait just a minute. Hold on just a minute. Wait just a second. Dial me up. Introduce them to me. Introduce the guest to the expert. Then put your phone on mute because you're there to listen and get trained, because after all, you're a teacher and you're going to start doing 3-way calls with your own group. Don't interrupt. Just listen to what's being said and really listen how the person that's on the phone is interviewing that person and what they're saying. And then when the call's over, hang up. Don't stick around and try and talk them into it. They've already gotten enough information. You need to let them cook a little bit, okay? So hang up when the 3-way call's over. When that expert hangs up, you hang up. Now, the steps to the system, and this is the beginning of the system training, the actual system itself are very simple. The first thing is an initial conversation with someone. Then we ask them a qualifying question. Then we hook them up to the 3-way hotline if they have 4 minutes to spare. Then we send them an email or we watch the video with them. It's a 13-minute overview of the company, and this is where people really dig in. So the initial conversation is to build a relationship. Get them to laugh a little bit. We ask them some questions. It qualifies whether they're looking or not, and if they found what they were looking for, would they be willing to consider committing doing it? And then we 3-way them into the hotline so they can hear just a little bit of information. The outcome of that event is to qualify their interest. And they'll ask you some questions, but quite frankly, they're all going to say something to the effect, I need more information. That's what the video is for. You get their contact information, and when you've watched that video, it's time to make a 3-way call. And at the end of that 3-way call, that person will have enough information in order to make a decision. It's a very simple process. Is it going to work this way every time? No. Someone's going to get on a 3-way and say, I love the business. I can't wait to sign up. I'd like to talk to my wife. my significant other. And then we just assign and ask their permission to have someone call their wife so they don't have to sell them, put them in an uncomfortable position. And with their permission, we'll do a three-way with their wife, significant other, and we'll help share the business with them. So let's go over the first conversation. This is really important. We're going to ask people questions. We want to get to know what their opinion is of where they are in life. Ask them about family, what they do for work, their occupation, what they do for fun, their recreation, and then deliver your message, the qualifying question. But let's talk to them first. Let's get them laughing a few times. Find out what you have in common. Dig down with them. Where are they from? Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, where'd they go to school? What's going on? Where do they live now? What do they do for work? What they used to do? Tell me your story. If they're a network marketer, I always say, please tell me your story. I'd love to hear your story. And they'll slip in there little tidbits because I'm listening for them. The company changed the comp plan. They left me. I didn't leave the company. The company owner got greedy, took money, got fired. The company had on and on and on. You hear this. FORM, family, occupation, recreation. Then deliver your message. Don't transfer any information in the conversation. Don't tell people you want help building your business. Don't tell people the name of the company. Don't tell people they can save money on their electric bill. Don't mention the EMS. You're not a salesperson. Let the third-party tools do that. No information transfer, okay? You know, it's time to laugh with them and get to know them. Have some fun. Build a little rapport. And then you ask the question. And the way I intro the question is I say, Bill, I just have one question for you. And they always say, well, what is it? And I say, are you hungry to do something? Are you hungry to do something? I've had people tell me they'll eat their shoes, they're so hungry. They're always hungry. I'm hungry and looking. What do you got? But all those answers say they're looking because they're hungry, and to do, they're willing to commit or consider committing to follow through with it. It's a great question. So the intro is, Bill, I only have one question for you. And when he says what, you say, are you hungry to do something? And that's the key question. Don't change that question. Every word in there is important. And they're going to tell you their life story at this point. Every person that said they're hungry or looking has told me what they're hungry for. This is their why. This is what motivates them. This is why they will do the business. If you can show them that by doing the business, you can build for them a plan that will get them the answer to what they're complaining about here, their why, and that why will work for them to solve their issues, they're going to close themselves. And at some point after they finish talking, I say, Bill, do you have 4 minutes to spare? And 100% of the people so far have said, yeah, sure. And I three-way them into the 4-minute hotline. I don't ask them if I can three-way them. I don't tell them I'm going to three-way them. I just say, hold on just a second, and I three-way them into the call. So my first conversation, my outcome is to qualify their interest by asking them the question, Bill, I've only got one thing to ask you. Are you hungry to do something? And when they say yes and they start telling you their why, you mentally record that why, you lock it away into your filing cabinet that's under their name, and then when they're finished talking, you say, do you have 4 minutes to spare, Bill? Sure. And that's when you hotline them. You three-way them onto the 4-minute hotline call. Now, after that call, I ask the question, Bill, what do you like the best about that call? And they're going to tell you, okay? They're going to tell you. You need to remember that. That call is not going to close them. It's not going to give them enough information to say yes. However, it's going to qualify their interest. And they're going to ask you questions. Don't jump down the rabbit holes yet. Just go with the flow and say, I've got all the answers for you, okay? Because your next goal is to send them the post-invitation email that you've gotten off the Dropbox file, that you've customized, that's your customized letter with your contact information, their first name filled in at the top, and you're going to say, look, I've got an email. It's a 13-minute video. I want you to watch it. And I need your name, phone number, and email address. This is where you collect their contact information. This is where you have them spell it out. This is where you know how to get in touch with them again. And you send them that email, and then you confirm they got it. Bill, do you get to your computer? Yeah. I just got your email. Thanks so much. I'll say, look, it's a 13.5-minute video, and can you have it watched in the next 30 minutes? Now, 2/3 of the people are going to say no, and they're going to set up a different time, but 1/3 will say yes. So in 30 minutes, you'll be able to do a 3-way call with them, which is the last step in the process to get their commitment, and you've done it in an hour. Now, just remember, the speed that someone comes in your business is the speed that they will build their business. 2 weeks to get in, 2 weeks to bring in their first person. An hour to get in, an hour to bring in their first person. Which speed of business growth would you like to have controlling your income? So set a time to talk. I always give them a time of 30 minutes. And I tell them, I say, can you watch this 13-minute video in the next 30 minutes? So whatever the time is, it is, and you have them call you because you want to test their teachability a little bit. And if you set a 6 o'clock callback time and it's 6:01, they haven't called you, give them a call. It's no foul, no harm, but it's a nice test. And then what you're doing is they've watched the video, and while they're watching it, you have set up the appointment with your 3-way expert. Okay? The pre-appointment, you need to set it up before that appointment happens. Get somebody that will agree to be available for you so they're set. And then the appointment time happens, and you ask them, what part of the video did you like the best, Bill? And they're going to tell you. And they're going to start asking you all kinds of questions. And you say, hold on just a minute. Hang on just a second. You got to hold on. And you call the expert, and you introduce the prospect to the expert. Okay? Introduce them to the expert. And then put your phone on mute. Listen while you get trained, while your expert builds your business for you and with you, and your prospect gets his questions answered from the best available source. Now, the 3-way call to the decision. Most important thing is to make sure that you mute your phone after the introduction to cut down on noise and feedback. Just listen, don't talk. If they say I'm in, then what you need to do is take their information right now. Know exactly what information you need. There's a file on the Dropbox. It says how to enroll. It's enrolling instructions. And you can go right down the list and ask the person for their information, write it down. You can put them in the computer, call them back as soon as you get the confirmation letter, and take them to the next step. So take their information, put them in the computer for them. Once they've given you their information and their credit card information, they are considered closed because they've already given it up. They're not officially closed, though, until they're in the computer, so don't waste a second. Get them in the computer. Make sure you give them their plan meeting homework. Immunize them. Until you've had your plan meeting, don't go out and start trying to pre-sell, pre-recruit the business because our business system doesn't have you doing those activities. And that will be your marketing system, not ours. And I know you're going to cheat. Everybody does. But when you do and you get unnecessary disappointment, just laugh and smile and realize that we have something that really works. Much easier than you trying to figure it out yourself. Your plan meeting homework is to get that list of names, put it on the memory jogger, give me 100, 200 names without any qualification, and bring me the answer to 2 very simple questions. Questions which have no right or wrong answer. There's only the answer, and it's your answer. Number 1, how many hours a week can you work this your first month? And I need a specific number of hours, and it's just for the first month. Number 2, based on that time commitment, for those number of hours, how much are you going to expect to earn your first month? And that's what it takes to do the homework for the plan meeting, and then tell them to call you as soon as they're ready to do their plan meeting. First thing we're going to do is get their numbers. How many hours? Okay. 10 hours, great. How much do you want to earn? $14,000, okay. So they're going to have to either drastically reduce their income expectations or drastically increase their time commitment. So the key is to make sure their expectations, how they feel about how they're doing in the business after their first week, their first month, their second month, doesn't come up with such a negative answer based on unrealistic expectations of earnings that they quit the business because they couldn't fulfill an impossible task. So you need to balance their time and income expectations. Then you need to qualify their memory jogger. Look, if they know people that are network marketers, put a star by their name. If they know people that have high spheres of influence, put a star by their name. People that are type A personalities that are pleasant and happy to be around, put a star by their name. People that own their own businesses. People that are too busy to make money, that's a good one. But qualify their memory jogger, and then you start calling with them. As soon as this business plan meeting is over, start rocking. Get them on the phone. Because this is a learn while you earn business. Until they take action, everything they just learned isn't going to make them a dime until they take action on what they just learned and put it out there and go for it. Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice any day. The only way to learn this business is to fail forward. Attitude is 90% of the business. It's the number one reason why Fortune 100 companies hire new executives. It's all based on attitude. It's all based on how people perceive themselves and the image they give off on that perception based on the first impression forward. You have to take action. When you put someone through the qualifying question and they pass that test, and you put them through the next event and they listen to the 4-minute call and they like it and they've got questions and you've qualified their interest, and you put them through the 13-minute video and they actually called you back on time and you're there ready to do your 3-way and you do the 3-way, that's a qualified person. And when a qualified person says no, and there's, hey, the timing might be off. They might have a sick child. You don't know. You can always set it up to call them back later. But when you get 40 of those, you'll have so much success in the business you won't know what you're doing, and you'll be an expert at this system. You'll not only be hearing the same questions in a different order from new faces, you'll be a mentor. People will start following you because people want someone they can trust that has been there and done that. Go see 2 people a day. Put 2 people a day into the process of going through this process. We call it your pipeline. Have 10 to 20 people in the pipeline at any one time. The only way to follow up properly is start off, just do 2 a day, 2 a day, 2 a day. First day of Momentous, I did 13. Next day was 4. Next day was 2, 2, 2, 2. And it built me a huge business because of the consistency of that number 2. Find a workout partner. Don't do this alone. It's much more fun to have a learning experience when someone's with you and you're laughing than it is to be by yourself and crying. Plug in and show up. 90% of the people that show up win. Most people won't show up consistently. You show up consistently and plug into the events and the trainings and the Power Plus website and all of the things that we have, which are numerous and all types of tools for you, and you run enough people through this system, you will win. That I'll guarantee. I just don't know when. Be here a year from now. Be in the business a year from now. It's going to take you 6 months to a year to understand the simplicity of the business. It took me 2 years. I've been in the business 26 years. First 2 years, I traveled all over Canada and the U.S. and Europe, just listening to professionals, trying to glean a word, a system, an office technique. And that's how I learned the business. A 2-on-1 phone call, we call it a 3-way. A 2-on-1 live meeting, we call it a coffee break. A 2-on-1 live is just a 3-way in person. This is about telling people about the business. It's about showing them what the business, how it works and how it happens. So when you're not with them, they can try it. And because you've spent time with them and you've been training and teaching and building a relationship, they know how to do it. So when you leave, they can do it. They can duplicate. They are trained. And once you train someone and they're a standalone, income-generating, business-building machine, and they teach others to teach others, you'll have income in that organization for the rest of your career. And that's what we do, day in and day out. There's nothing fancy about it. It's all very basic, but boy, does it work. The system is the solution. Sell the system. It really works. Thank you very much.